The idea behind this project is combining, I guess, two of my big musical passions, the music of Thelonious Monk and the music of Brazil, bringing those two worlds together in a way that I don't think has been done before. For me, he was one of the first composers and players I got really into when I was a teenager, just starting to learn about jazz. And just, you know, there was Oscar Peterson, there was other people, but Monk really stood out just because he stands out anywhere. The idea to bring Monk into Brazil, so to speak, it involved a little bit of experimentation. It also involved me actually exploring some Brazilian grooves that I only had like a passing familiarity with, such as maracatu and afoxé. So it gave me an excuse to delve deeper into those particular subgenres in Brazilian music and find a spot for Monk, or at least a particular Monk composition within that groove or that style. So there's some big Monk hits on the record, Bemsha Swing, Around Midnight, and then there are some more obscure Monk compositions, things he maybe only recorded once. Again, sometimes it came down to like, I really like this tune of Monk's, how can I find a way to Brazilify it? And in a couple cases, like, I really like this Brazilian groove. Can I find a Monk tune that I might be able to plug into there? So it kind of worked from both ends sometimes. I ended up having kind of a surplus of material. Maybe there'll be a Monk in Brazil too. Some of the top players in this area are represented, or in the world for that matter, are represented on this album. Nilson Mata, Mauricio Zottarelli, Itaguara Brandao, Adriano Santos. So I knew I wanted to play with those guys. I knew that I wanted them on this project. Everyone was just super into it, which was great. And actually had some helpful suggestions, you know, from the Brazilian perspective.
You know, it's a great honor, a pleasure to play with Matt, and he's a fantastic piano player, man. It's the idea to record the Monk in samba is something special, and I told him before, and I'm so glad I did. We recorded, and I'm happy. I think it's gonna be a great CD.
I always love working with Matt, and particularly for this project, the way he envisioned taking Monk's music and bringing it to a Brazilian environment, mixing the two worlds. I think it was a genius idea, and some of these tunes, it's almost like they were written that way, you know, the way he worked out the arrangements. So it was a total blast to work with him. It always is, and this in particular was very, very special. So I feel very honored, very happy to be part of this, and thank you, Matt, and I hope a lot of people get to hear this. It's a wonderful record.
I love playing with Matt, and he's an amazing musician, great friend, great pianist, great groove, and he called the amazing musicians to play with us. And it's Monk.
I also knew I wanted a bunch of different reeds sounds, alto sax, flute, piccolo. You know, as I was picking the tunes, I'm thinking about instrumentation, what kind of horn, and I knew one guy that could do all that stuff, Anton Denner, who's a fabulous improviser, one of the greatest I think ever, and also a guy that's also way into Brazilian music.
I hate to make, sound like cliche, a dream come true and all this, but, talking about Monk's music, playing with, the greatest Brazilian musicians, known Matt for, how many years. I think he's genius, even if he's a bit silly sometimes. I'm really thrilled and honored that he wants to include me with this whole shindig.
I was also lucky to get people like Chico Pinheiro, who's a great guitarist, pretty big figure in Brazilian jazz today. Great to play with him, wonderful guy, and also Fernando Sassi and Emily Rivera, the percussionist, Cathiel Nathan, the cavaquinho player. It all came together, and as I said, everyone offered a lot of great energy and enthusiasm for this, and I'm really, really happy and proud. All these guys are on the record, and it came out so great. I hate to use a kind of an overused trite word, but I think this is kind of fresh, and I'm really excited to get it out to the world. So please find it, buy it, enjoy it.